Bushra's raised some very great points, and I think one I'll quickly pick up on before I move on to myself is around picking the right partner. I am so lucky that I have found a partner who is very supportive of my career, because not a lot of emphasis is placed on that. I think as women, there's so much focus on just getting married. And it's always around the background of the person, as opposed to, having a common vision of what they want to achieve. And having a supportive partner is a big part of my success today, because I have worked 100-hour weeks. I have worked many weekends. I have worked through a lot of holidays where I've had a supportive partner who's cheered me on in each of those occasions. And it's so important for women to not just get into any relationship, but to get into the right relationship, because that will either bring out your sparkle or confidence, or it's just going to completely take that away from you. And you want to be with someone who helps you have your own voice and confidence. So it's such an important piece. For me personally, when I look back at what I thought I would be 5 years ago, I didn't see myself, being married so soon. I got married at 22, so I didn't think I would get married so quickly. I didn't see myself living in London or working in finance at a technology firm. So the quick answer to that is I don't like to think of my life in 5-year, 10-year blocks, but rather a continuum with a North Star. So my goal is, when I'm thinking about where I want to be at the end of my 30-year career, it's create impact. So to give you an example, when I went to Smith, I always had this thing in me of, you are a woman for the world. You need to do something for the world. So that desire to help alleviate poverty was always clear. Over the years, as I've started to pick up my skill set and be more involved in finance and have been advancing my career there, I'm defining that North Star even more. So now my North Star looks something like, hopefully in the next decade or next 2 decades, I find ways to continue to be involved with the technology ecosystem in Pakistan, so that eventually we create a Silicon Valley equivalent in Karachi or Lahore, where I'm part of helping create resources so that those who have ideas get the capital to then create jobs and really start up an entire ecosystem that helps our economy do well. So that's what that North Star looks like right now. I'm sure it's going to be more defined as I go along this journey. And so I try to set, journey goals and mini milestones that I need to achieve. And I think, to give you a more tangible example of the last year, my mini goal was to make sure that I'm the best version of being an associate, so I can get to the VP promotion, which is incredibly difficult in this environment. And I got that. And now my goal for this year is, how do I become the best VP Francisco Partners has ever seen? Because that's the goal for the year. And the way I think about life is, success just doesn't happen overnight. You can't just wake up one day and be on the front street of a Wall Street Journal or Financial Times. It's really about, strongly focusing, putting your head down, and waking up every day, doing the same thing and doing it better every day. So if you can learn a little bit more the next day versus the previous day, it's all going to add up, and eventually, hopefully, that's going to look like your version of success.
Incredibly inspiring, guys. Ladies, I'm so impressed with both of you. God, really, really well done. Honestly, very, very inspiring. Love the stories. Fariha, I think you have one final question from our guest.
I have one final question, and thank you. Agreed. I mean, we can take notes actually. Also, thank you for sharing everything. Final question, and again, maybe we can start this time from Ayla, and then we can move on to Bushra. Ayla, for young women who are Pakistanis or minorities who are pursuing their career internationally, or those who want to move abroad, what are 2 or 3 tips you want to share, the characteristics, the competencies they can embrace so they can be successful?
Mm-hmm. So I can share my own kind of personal struggle that I've had to deal with, especially being in a very male-dominated society or in a work environment. So I always felt like, I am not good enough. So I had imposter syndrome, where I would question, am I tough enough to do this job? somewhere along the lines, I would look up at the role models around me. There were no women, at least at my firm, senior women who I look up to, and I say, okay, I want to be like one of these people one day. And so then I'm trying to like replicate the best qualities of all my male partners around me to see, can I be any of those people? And the answer for me so far had been no. And along this process and journey, like I basically lost my voice and my own confidence because I'm now trying to be someone else, which is not me. So advice to my 21, 22-year-old self as you're starting out your career, stop trying to be anybody else. Be you, be authentic, be yourself, and be the best version of yourself. And how do you get there? Number one, it's self-awareness. So really take time to like do a stock check within, right? What are your good qualities? What are you good at? What are you not so good at? And who are you today and who do you want to be? And once you understand that, you can actually capitalize and like find and pull resources to supplement areas where you need help and really capitalize and leverage your strengths, your key strengths. So whether it's having strong interpersonal skills, whether it's really enjoying math, like pick those things up and really develop your secret sauce rather than trying to be like somebody else. Then the second piece of advice I would say is own your power. When people wonder if you can do it or not, and you start to doubt yourself, that's a red flag, right? You don't want to give away your power to anyone else by doubting who you are. You always need to be comfortable knowing that if you set your mind to it, you can do it. That was part of my journey when I was going through the college application process, and even my own parents were discouraging me at some point, saying, look, you're getting rejected, this is not going to happen. But I owned my own life and I decided I have set my mind to it. Until I don't know that I did my very best to get to that outcome, I will not settle. And even if then I don't get the outcome I wanted, at least I know I had tried, right? Versus never having tried, because you know what not trying looks like. But until you don't reach out and try, you will never know what success could have looked like. And then I guess the third piece of advice I would say is really just get comfortable, taking risks. It's not easy, and we have a lot of inner voices in our own head. We also have a lot of people around us who can always make us doubt ourselves or make us feel like we're not good enough. So we try to dim our own light to make it convenient for other people, whether it's our own partner, whether it's our friends. Like we try to downplay our own successes, and we need to not do that. We need to be comfortable taking risks, holding ourselves accountable for it, reaching out, and just going for it.
Excellent. Ayla, thank you. Wonderful. Bushra, your thoughts?
I'm really happy Ayla went first because she said a lot of the things I would have said as well. So I 100% echo all of that advice. Great pieces of advice, very well articulated. The only thing I would add would be the change you want to see in the world, right? You have the power to make a difference, to make an impact. And if you don't believe in yourself, then it really will be hard for someone else to believe in you as well. So similar to what Ayla was saying. And that's probably the best piece of advice that I can give anyone. And I know we have less than a minute left, so I guess I'll just close it off with that.
Thank you so much, Bushra, and thank you, Ayla. So Talat, over to you.
Absolutely. Ayla, Bushra, once again, thank you so much for being on our show, for taking the time out to be on the other side with Fariha and Talat. And we will definitely be in touch. I think a lot of young women out there that are watching this are absolutely going to be inspired by your stories. So, become the change you want to see. You guys are already becoming that change.